Hail. So for this week's, if I was preaching, I'm not preaching this Sunday, but it is Trinity Sunday for those of you that follow the lectionary calendar. And so there are two things that I would probably, as I'm just kind of musing about stuff. One is Trinity and how complicated and weird it is. And the Trinity is actually never mentioned in the Bible in that form, but it's a way that we understand the nature of God. I like to point out how complicated and nuanced the Trinity is, that it's not simply, in traditional Father, Son, Holy Ghost, or creator, sustainer, redeemer. And so I actually think it's really fascinating to point out the complexities of fully God, fully human, spirit, God, all that multiple things exist within this one entity. I'm not a big fan of Godhead as the Trinitarian kind of overarching, but like that we can actually handle that. And that so ties into what you're saying around pride beginning sometimes it seems like we tell folks around gender or sexuality that it's just too confusing. We don't understand how you can be multiple things, or there's a fluidity or any of that. And so it's a great way, I think, right now with Pride starting this month to tie that in together to say, no, actually, you can handle it. But what's keeping us back from being able to open ourselves up to handling nuance in somebody's personhood the way that we can handle nuance in the nature of who God is? The second thing is, one of my favorite passages is the Great Commission is in this week. And as many of us translate that, it's not go as in an imperative, a command, but more of a as you go. As you go, share the good news. As you go, share the story that has transformed you. Share the story of who Christ is in your life in a way that makes sense for who you are. So not in a kind of lift high the cross and bang somebody over the head, or, you're like in a colonial conquering way, but just this is who I am and why I, believe in this one who I follow, and that it's not based upon that you are expecting somebody to land in the same place. That as you go, you share, and what probably happens as you go, people are more open to this one that you follow, right? So you're open to this God, Christ, Spirit. Again, not that somebody has to get to the same place you are or get to a place, but that as you are just living in the world, as you move through the world, you are not holding back who you are as a person of faith, but we're being told, like, tell the story, live the story as we go through the world. All right. So those were the two things that I would preach if I was preaching this Sunday, but I'm not. So those of you that are prepping, blessings on your work, and have a great Sunday.